Welcome to the Christian Life Coach Collective. I'm your host and coach, Laura Malone, and I'm here to help you become the hero of your own story and learn to be a guide to others. Whether you're a life coach in any niche or you want to become one, or you're just listening in so you can self-coach to lead your own life well, this podcast is here to serve you. I'm super excited to walk with you into your calling and help you create a wonderful legacy for your life. So let's jump in to today's episode. What are you waiting to be ready for? And has it ever worked for you in the past, actually, if you think about it? How many times have you waited to be ready for something because you thought you weren't ready yet? But you eventually become, inspired or determined to go ahead and do it. And then in hindsight, you wish you had just done it sooner and stopped being in the waiting for readiness to come get you, right? Have you ever determined when you will be ready? Have you ever defined what ready means to you? I want to talk to the people who you're waiting to start your business. You're waiting to become a coach. You're waiting to actually start coaching people. You're waiting to be ready for all of these things that are your future. And you're waiting to actually be the person that you're becoming. If you are not one of these people, you can still extract meaning from this. I promise you. But I'm going to speak directly to the listeners who are in these categories because I have been there specifically. And I would say the thing you're not ready for is the unknown. And the brain doesn't like the unknown, right? So your brain wants you to be ready because your brain doesn't want you to do something that it considers a threat because it's always scanning for threats and opportunities. And anything unknown is a threat and you're not ready for it. So your brain will want to keep you in passive action to keep you from taking any steps or making any movement that could be somewhat threatening to it. It wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you comfy. But after you actually do the thing, it's no longer unknown. And why continue waiting to be ready when the after event, first of all, is never as amazing as you wanted it to be, even after waiting 20 years to be ready to do the thing, and is rarely as scary as you feared it would be after all of that time that you were waiting to be ready. Because being ready is highly overrated. And that belief system is probably doing you a disservice. You could just start moving forward into that thing and recognize and tell your brain that, renew your mind and remind your brain, here's the deal, brain. Tomorrow, that thing isn't going to actually be fully manifest, but tomorrow, we're going to take one small step towards that thing. And even though you think we're not ready, you and I, brain, we're just going to start moving towards it. And I want to tell you that I'm saying all of this to you now because of all of the waiting to be ready that I've done in my life. I waited to start a business thinking I'm not ready because I need to learn more and I need to create such a strong foundation. And while I believe in strong foundations, that used to actually be my excuse. It was my passive action excuse that caused me to wait before I took productive action and actually talked to people about coaching so I could actually have clients. Because without clients, you're not a coach. You are a business owner or you're a content creator, but you're not actually coaching anybody. So you are not a coach if you have no clients. I'm not saying if you're in between clients. I'm saying if you've never had a client, then you have not yet been a coach. And it's time to put yourself in the place where you're doing the action, the productive action that actually defines you as a coach. It's putting clients in front of you. That's what a coach does. A coach goes and finds clients, talks to clients, and then begins to coach clients. So I waited to start my business thinking I wasn't ready because I just didn't think that my life season was ready for me to run a business in addition to all the crazy I'm responsible for. In reality, my life and the people in it are still not ready for me to be running a business 6 years after I started one, but I'm doing it. Then I started a podcast before I was ready, and I found out that I actually enjoy putting myself under external expectation, like what the podcast created for me. Then I began the Greenhouse Life Coach Training Course, and I really wasn't ready. Not in the sense of, it was more the sense of I'm not ready because I don't know absolutely everything. I'm not in control of absolutely everything, and perfection and I are best friends. If that was the kind of ready that I needed to have to actually do what I'm called to do, I would never have done it because I was not going to ever know everything, be in control of everything, and be best friends with perfection. No, I did it because God said, now is the time. And when God says, you're ready or get ready, that you can bet I'm here for that. So these days, you can be a mom with 5 kids under 10 with an online business that keeps you crafting at the midnight hour and on the computer while your babies are napping and trying to get 1,000 things done all day long and then drop into bed at night only to be woken up by the nightmares and the bottle feedings throughout it. So what is the difference between the woman who says, I'm going to start a business while my life is crazy and hectic, and the woman who says, I'm going to wait to be ready? What is the difference between the person who says, I'm going to get trained as a life coach now, and the one who says, I'm going to wait till I know more, until I hear that absolute word of the Lord, until I'm in a better position to do it, until I have more time to do it? Well, here's the answer. The difference between those people is the thoughts they're thinking and the beliefs they're believing. Whatever your core motivations are, your root system is infiltrating your thought life. And your thoughts and belief systems have led you to decisions that you're holding on to. But remember, you don't have to keep thinking everything you've always thought, and you don't have to keep believing everything that you've believed up to this point. But right now, if you're still waiting to be ready for anything, you've decided to continue to believe that you have to be ready. You've decided to continue to believe that you need clarity and confidence and more of this and more of that before you can ever call yourself ready. But nobody else really determines when you are ready. Not to do that thing that's in your heart. Do you know what it even means to be ready? It means you've decided you are ready. That's what it means to be ready. External readiness is not the same as internal readiness. So you're ready to be a coach when you decide to be one. You are ready to start a business when you decide to start one. That's your internal readiness factor. But the external readiness is you're ready to coach after you have trained as a coach, you've learned and set up tools and strategies, and you've gone and gotten clients. That puts you in a position where externally you are actually ready and prepared to coach. But it's internal readiness that you're waiting on, that you're saying, I need to have all of those things lined up and then I'll be ready. But will you? Even if you had all of the external things, internally, you could still be waiting to be ready. And you could be using those external readiness factors to get stuck in passive action, right? You have to move out of that and actually internally help yourself walk into the space of, I am ready to do this. I know why I'm doing it. I'm excited about doing it. This is my true goal to do this. Because here is the one line that I want you to remember from the entire podcast. You have to plant your petunia where you want your garden to be. Okay. Now, let's just say I used to tell my kids, sit your petunia down. So I kind of mean it that way to you. You need to go put your petunia where the garden's supposed to be, okay? So if you know what you want your garden to look like, you have to actually go put plants in it. You can't just look at that plot of land and wait. What are we waiting for it? What are we waiting to be ready for? Are we waiting for the grass to be taller, shorter? Are we waiting for the holes to dig themselves? Are we waiting for the plants to fall out of the sky? Are we waiting for seeds to rain and suddenly supernaturally grow? No, you actually have to go get the petunia and put the petunia where it needs to go. And you have to do that work. But the petunia, if we bring that petunia back to being you actually have to put yourself where you want yourself to be. And you have to stop waiting for that internal readiness factor you just need to actually say, I'm ready. Make the decision today. What I'm saying is that if you say you want to work for yourself, or you say you want to become a coach, but you're not taking productive action towards those things, they are not your true goals. Okay? If you're not actually buying a petunia plant and digging a hole, then you don't want a garden. And if it's not your true goal, what is it? It's a false goal. What does a false goal do? It hinders you. It keeps you cycling. It keeps you believing something's not aligned with truth. It keeps you double-minded. It causes you to lose integrity because integrity is actually doing the thing that you say. False goals don't allow you to do what you say. They keep you stuck and safe and comfy, but they are not true goals. True goals disturb the peace and they scare your brain. And you might even have to face a little bit of success intolerance if you move towards them, or imposter syndrome. Whatever. Everybody has those things. So don't not do something because you're worried about imposter syndrome or the kinds of challenges that will come up when you move towards something. Everybody has that. I'm so sorry. You are not unique in that way, that you're the only one who struggles with fear of success or imposter syndrome or imperfect, just the fear of being imperfect or the fear of not being enough. You're not the only one. And if you thrive on being unique, then this is not the place that you're going to find your uniqueness. And true goals are the things that you're actively pursuing, so you have to step up to the plate. If you say you want something, but you're not taking action towards it, it's a false goal, and I recommend that you lay it down and just put it on the altar. Just say, okay, I'm not going to keep saying this is my goal because I'm not actually doing anything to make it happen, so it's not actually a goal. I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm only going to let that thing come back into my language and my thoughts when it becomes a true goal that I'm going to take baby steps towards, and sometimes giant leaps. And we take ground when we pursue true goals. False goals keep us spinning in circles. So if you're listening to this and you want to become a coach and you want to start a business so you can guide other people and you want to work for yourself, then you have the opportunity to jump into the Greenhouse Life Coach Training and Certification right now. It's I'm taking applications for just a few more weeks because it starts September 29th. But no matter when you're listening to this, you have some kind of opportunity in front of you. And if you don't see it, go look for it. These are choices you're making. So I encourage you, I champion you. I'm your cheerleader on the sideline telling you, make the decision for yourself. Decide to be ready. Decide to make that thing a true goal. Decide to take productive action. Decide to turn away from false goals, keeping you stuck. Decide to stop cycling through something. Decide to stop spinning in circles. and decide that you are no longer going to agree with the limiting beliefs and the lies, that you have to be ready and you have to wait longer to be ready. If you do decide, let's just say your brain takes over, okay? Your soul is like, I want to stay here. All right, this is what you do. If you cannot get out of that place right now and decide to be ready, I want you to determine what ready really looks like and make being ready your true goal. Actually, instead of making this, I want to be a life coach with a 6-figure business, that's my true goal. No, that's your false goal because you haven't done anything to become a coach. You haven't done anything to start a business. So that's not actually your true goal. What you need to do, because being ready, being safe, being comfortable, that's your true goal, because that's what you're taking action towards. And inaction is a form of passive action. Let me say that again. Inaction is a form of passive action. If you're not taking the necessary action that reveals your true goal, then your passive action, what you're doing while you spin in circles, that is the inaction, because you're not moving towards a true goal. So, you're not moving towards what you say is your true goal, okay? I want you to determine, what does being ready look like? And then I want you to say, that's my true goal. These things I've listed, when my kids are this age, when I have this much money, when I decide to make this much time in my schedule and I make this a priority, that's what ready looks like. Now, those things are your true goals. You're going to wait till your youngest child is 5 and he's 2 right now. Okay, you are making a decision that ready looks like waiting for 3 years. So then you can say, later in life, in a different stage of life, I want to be a life coach or I want to be an entrepreneur. But that's not now. It's not till my youngest is in kindergarten. That is when I'm ready. And so now you're actually moving into a productive, creative state of knowing what your true goal is and moving towards it, instead of lacking the integrity that you have to have when you are, integrity being that you are doing the thing you say you're going to do. So make it specific. Let's make it a SMARTY goal, right? Let's make it specific, make it measurable, make it action-oriented, make it realistic, and make it time-oriented, and make it exciting. Make your goals, lay them out, and if being ready is your goal, at least you know where you're going. Then when you reach that point, you can actually evaluate again and say, I am ready. And I promise you, that's going to feel amazing to say, I am ready. And when you reach that point, come check out the greenhouse training, because we'll be waiting for you. And all I know is, like, Sterling and Stone life coaches are going to be the best change agents and modern day disciplers for a hurt and broken world. And I am loving what God is pouring out right now. I love what He is telling me, what He's giving me to give away. The value that I have been praying for to be able to give my coaches, God's just showing more and more and more ways for me to bless my coaches to go multiply that. And I want you in there. If you're called to be in there, you can apply at sterlingandstonementoring.com/the greenhouse, or just go there and click on it. Take the quiz while you're there and see what kind of coach that you are. Are you a strategy coach, a mentor coach, a pastoral coach, or a possibility coach like me, right? So go check it out, and I hope to see you there if you are ready. Until next time, remember, all things are possible. Hey, thanks for listening. And I would love it if you could leave me a review wherever you listen to this podcast and tell me what you're loving about it. It helps other people who are looking for transformation and change and growth in their lives find me. And if you want to learn about becoming a coach with any of your superpowers, head over to sterlingandstonementoring.com and check out the greenhouse course. See you there.